Our film begins with a young girl finding herself trapped between walls. Suddenly, cement pours over her, burying her alive inside the wall. 15 years later, we meet engineer Sam. She celebrates her 25th birthday and graduates from college. During the party, her dad, who owns a demolition company, pulls her aside. He offers her a deal to oversee the demolition of a massive building, which would be her gift. He tells her if she succeeds in this operation, he will make her his partner in the company. So Sam heads to the building feeling puzzled as the area is unfamiliar and strange. Upon arrival, she notices the building looks different from any other, and then her phone network disconnects, leaving her unable to make any calls. As she enters, she sees the number 1990 engraved on the wall, realizing the building was constructed under the supervision of an engineer named Melstraza. After that, Sam meets Mrs. Mary, who takes care of the building. Mary lives in the building with her only son, Jimmy. Jimmy then takes Sam to the apartment where she'll be staying and informs her that smoking is prohibited in the building. He warns her not to go to the 8th floor or the roof because it's very dangerous there. When Sam enters her apartment and takes a shower, she hears someone calling her name, but when she looks around, she finds no one. She then leaves her apartment and asks Mary about the building's details. Mary tells her that there are only 4 people living in the building and they're there to take care of it until the day of demolition. She also informs Sam that all the other apartments in the building have been evacuated except for 2 tenants who refuse to evacuate their belongings. After that, Sam goes to sleep. The next day, she starts analyzing the building to determine the number of dynamites needed for demolition. She begins marking on the wall the places where the dynamite will explode and specifies all the details to give instructions to the demolition team. Later on, Sam goes to buy stuff from the store. There, she sits at a computer and starts researching the building and its history. She found out that in 1993, many people disappeared. Later, Sam returns to the building and on the way, she meets Jimmy with his dog. She knew from him that he doesn't go to school and doesn't have any friends. They then go together to the building. On the way, she tells him about what she found online, the crimes, the mysterious killer, and that Melstraza died despite him telling her he was alive on the 8th floor. After Jimmy returns to Mary, we see her slapping him, asking him about what he told Sam. He doesn't respond and insists that he didn't tell her anything. She asks him to stay away from her and not to talk to her again. Then she hugs him and tells him that she loves him. At that moment, we see Sam marking demolition sites when suddenly a man holding an axe attacks her. He was one of the residents who opposed the demolition of the building. At night, Jimmy goes with Sam to the 8th floor behind Mary's back. They have their dog and a flashlight. He tells her that Melstraza was a very intelligent person who loved his work and didn't like anyone taking his picture, which is why nobody knew what he looked like. He tells her that on the 8th floor, they found many bodies, including Melstraza, and there's a possibility his ghost is still there. He also tells her that his dog was for a girl named Julie, one of the victims of the building. Then, they enter a room and Jimmy shows her the wall where Melstraza's body was found. They are shocked to find a wall with Melstraza's face drawn on it. Suddenly, they see a person in front of them, but he disappears along with Jimmy. Sam takes the flashlight and tries to realize what's happening, and she hears a child singing, making her very tense, causing her to fall to the ground. At that moment, Jimmy appears, takes her, and quickly gets them out of that room and into Sam's room, where he treats her leg wounds. In that moment, Sam senses that Jimmy likes her, but she rejects him. At night, when Sam looks at herself in the mirror, she's shocked to find a mirror hanging on the wall behind her, shaking violently. Sam quickly rushes to remove it from the wall, but the terrifying thing is that the wall starts oozing a lot of blood from the hole where the mirror was hanging. Suddenly, hands appear from the wall, trying to pull Sam inside, and she loses consciousness. After a while, Sam wakes up and finds herself inside the wall covered in cement, becoming part of it. Fortunately, she wakes up relieved when she realizes it was all just a dream. At night, she goes out for a walk in the apartment and then gets afraid when she finds someone holding roses standing in front of her. It turns out it was her boyfriend Peter, who was here to surprise her. She takes him and they go to the man who was holding the axe. She accuses him of scaring her and Jimmy on the 8th floor to prevent them from demolishing the building, but he denies it and kicks them out of his apartment. Afterward, Sam takes Peter to Melstraza's apartment, where they are shocked to find a secret passage beneath the floor. Sam discovers that Jimmy was able to see her in the bathroom. Then they reach a secret room and find Mary inside. They go to her, where Sam complains about Jimmy spying on her in the bathroom and teaming up with the weird neighbor to scare her. Jimmy gets embarrassed and leaves. The next day, Sam finds blood outside of Julie's room, and when she opens the door, she finds the dog killed. She quickly gathers her clothes to leave the place. Afterwards, she goes to ask Jimmy, who was burying the dog, if he was the one who killed it or not. He gets upset with her and tells her that the dog was his best friend, so it's impossible for him to do such a thing. building. Then, Sam goes to write a report about the amount of explosive needed to demolish the building. At that time, Jimmy goes to Sam and apologizes to her for what he did and gives her a gift, which is the original blueprint of the building drawn by Malstraza himself. She is shocked when she finds a large open space in the middle of the building that she knows nothing about. Jimmy goes to the roof to find the entrance to the secret opening, but he takes too long. So Sam and her boyfriend went looking for him and they actually find the opening in the middle of the building. They hear Jimmy's voice asking for help, saying he got injured. Sam asks Peter to hold the rope and lower her down to the shaft so she can rescue Jimmy. Afterwards, suddenly a weapon appears and hits Peter with an iron arrow, killing him. Sam sees this while she's suspended by the rope, blood dripping down onto her. She gets terrified, falls into the shaft and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she finds herself in the darkness with a stranger. Suddenly, the opening above them opens up, illuminating the area, and Jimmy throws a note to Sam from it saying that he loves her and won't let her leave the building. She'll stay with him and he'll watch over her until she loves him back. If she does anything wrong, he will let that strange man kill her, just like he killed his dearest friend. At that moment, we realize that the person with Sam is actually engineer Malstraza, whom everyone thought was dead but is actually trapped in the building. Afterwards, Jimmy leaves and sends the explosive reports that Sam made to her father. He then sinks Sam's car in the lake so that no one suspects anything. At that moment, Malstraza talks to Sam and reveals that he was the one behind the killings in the building. Then, Jimmy lowers them food and drinks from the opening above, and he also lowers a walkie-talkie to Sam so they can communicate through it. Jimmy lets Sam know that he will keep the opening open for her to look at the sky. Then, Malstraza tells Sam that when Mary found out he was behind her husband's death, she tricked the police and everyone else into believing that Malstraza was dead, while she actually imprisoned him in this place to seek revenge. Afterwards, Mary reaches the rooftop and discovers what Jimmy did to Sam. She gets angry at him because this place was specifically meant to punish Malstraza, not anyone else. It becomes clear that it was difficult for her to get Sam out of there without alerting the police, which would result in Mary getting arrested and Jimmy being sent to an orphanage. Then the demolition workers arrive at the building, accompanied by Sam's father, and they begin preparing the building for demolition. At this point, Sam tries to convince Jimmy to get her out of there, but he tells her it's too late as the demolition workers have arrived already. Sam becomes angry and smashes the walkie-talkie. After a while, Malstraza hits Sam and she loses consciousness. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself tied up and sees Malstraza digging a grave he had designed a long time ago connected with cement pipes. He is convinced that the building won't collapse if someone is buried while he is alive. Then Sam manages to free herself from the rope she's tied to and threatens Malstraza with an iron arrow, telling him she won't let him kill her. He reveals that he is digging the grave for himself anyway and asks her to kill him. Sam is extremely nervous, but he keeps provoking her with his words until she actually kills him. Malstraza descends into the grave and the cement covers him completely, where everyone was set and ready to set the explosive, thinking that the building was vacant. However, Jimmy intervenes and asks the demolition team to stop immediately. He rushes towards Sam, followed by her father, who is shocked to find his daughter in that situation. Jimmy then decides to commit suicide. He jumps off the opening and falls next to Sam. Before dying, he apologizes to her and tells her she's now free. Mary is arrested and Sam is taken to the hospital for treatment. And that's it. If you like this recap, hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel to keep seeing content like this one. If you have any requests or thoughts, drop them below in the comment section and we will see you at the next one. Peace out!